Welcome back to Coloring with Critters. I'm Jessica, and I am here to just color and chat with you guys for a few minutes today while I wait for my mother to get home so that we can go take the horses out to a competition. But I definitely had to make a few minutes to visit with my coloring buddies because I haven't done that in a little while. While we chat, I'm going to color out of this book, which I learned about from Anne's channel at A Colorful World, or I'm sorry, Colorful Life. And it's this book called Color Me Your Way 5 by P.J.C. Smart. It's a very large book, one of the largest ones I've got, I think. Probably is the largest one I have. I've been working on it for a day or so, and I'm trying something that I'm not sure is working. I'm trying to take all of these different shades of brown to do the horse's body. I'm not sure I like it. But I'm going to keep working on it at least for a little while before I can just completely make up my mind that it's a lost cause. So y'all can watch it with me. Let me get my little scratched piece of paper here. Always have to have that. Oh, I did want to show you guys a couple of other things that I have done since the last time we talked. I finished 2 pictures that I'm really happy about. I started this one, or worked on it on one of our videos. This is the picture I was working on out of Mascara by Mardel Rudio. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. It's not perfect, but I thought that it was a good picture, and the background's a little more yellow than I think I should have gone, but I like the way my hair came out. You know, I think I did okay on this. This was good. The other picture that I finished was in the new Jade Summer Baby Dragons book, and I really do like this one. I'm really proud of this picture. I think this little baby dragon is the cutest thing ever. I did her in the Blick Studio markers. Just went through and put a flat color on everything. And then I went back in with my Prismacolors and did all of the shading. And I am just super, super happy with this little dragon. And this is probably one of my favorite things I've done. So, very happy with her. So, what's going on, guys? What is going on in y'all's world? What is up? What are you coloring? I haven't been keeping up with many of my color tube people lately because I've been really busy, which is another reason why I seem to take so long in between videos. What have you been busy with, Jessica? Well, let's see. About a couple weeks ago, I can't remember if I told you this or not, but I did get an official proposal from my fiance. So I'm wedding planning, and if you have ever done that, you know that that is so much work. The wedding is in October, and that sounds like a really long time, but it's not. I find out people plan these things like a year ahead of time, and I did not realize I was going to need that much time to do this. So I'm actually kind of scrambling just a little bit to get this done. And I've done pretty well, actually. I was able to get the venue I wanted. I just had to go back, adjust my date by a week from what I really would have preferred that it be. Was able to do that. It's a garden venue, so it's going to be outdoors. And let's all cross our fingers that the weather will stay nice and not rain, because that would be terrible. I've been, you know, busy getting vendors booked and things like that, making plans, you know, just all of that fun wedding stuff. So that's the biggest thing I've got going on. I had to go back and get my little Piglet, Pinkie Pie, spayed. Some of you may remember I tried to get her spayed about a month ago, and she didn't respond to the anesthesia. They weren't able to do the surgery, so we had to reschedule it. So we went back last Friday. We tried it again with some different anesthesia options, and this time it worked. This time everything went well. She's recovering, she's doing just great, and now I don't have to worry about having a little piggy that goes into heat, which is not a pleasant situation if you're going to have them in and out of your home. So I'm glad that she's doing well on that. She's growing. You know, she was a runt, and I was really worried for a little while that she might not grow as much as she needed to, but she is starting to catch up. She's 42 pounds. Which makes her about the size of my smallest potbelly pig, who is 2 years old. Now, Pinkie is a farm pig. She's not a pet pig breed, so she's going to be really big. She can be like 600-700 pounds, possibly. I don't really think she'll be that big, but she could. I think she'll be more like 400 or 500. She will be outdoors at that point. She's not going to stay inside forever as much as I would like her to. Just not going to happen. Not at that size. But she's doing good. I am also getting to spend a lot more time riding my horse Jagger. We have a barrel race tonight. In fact, I'm going to do this video. Then I'm going to go to the race, and then I probably won't get to edit this until tomorrow because by the time I get home, it's going to be fairly late, and I'm going to be tired. Now, if y'all are watching what I'm doing here with my colors, I'm just picking random browns. There's no rhyme or reason to this. It's just different colors that I think fall in this brown family that I'm just sort of picking at random, which is probably why it's not working, but who knows? Maybe it'll look good when it's all done. So anyway, we have a race tonight, a barrel race. If you're not a person who knows a lot about horses and you don't know what barrel racing is, it's a rodeo type event. And it's a competition where they've got 3 big barrels set up in the middle of the arena, and I go run a pattern around them, and the fastest time wins. And this is something I've done a really long time. I bought this horse, let's see, about 8 months ago, I guess. And it takes a long time sometimes when you get with a new horse to get used to each other. So we've just been having to go out, you know, we'd compete, we'd see how we did, we'd go home, we'd tweak some things, we'd try again. So we've been steadily improving. We took about 3 months off over the winter because even though it's not that cold in Texas, it did rain a lot. And it was colder than it usually is. So we have not done any competitions since November. So last week, I at least took him to do a practice run. I didn't actually enter the competition. It was just for, you know, just for practice. But he did pretty well. He's just about where he was before we took our time off. So I'm not too upset about that. He's not in the same physical shape he was last year because he's out of, you know, he's out of exercise. So I'm not upset that he's just a tiny touch slower than he was before we stopped for the winter break. He's still very close to what he was. One little issue that I had been having with him is that he was not turning his first barrel as tightly as he really needed to. You know, coming out of it kind of wide, which is not what you want. So we've been working on this, and the other day I was at home practicing, and I decided to adjust something, you know, tweak something, see if it would help. And the good news is that it did. He did not turn the barrel wide this time. In fact, he turned it really tight. It was a really pretty turn, exactly what I wanted, except he was about ½ an inch too close coming out of that turn. And I ended up hitting my leg on this big heavy barrel, and I cut it open pretty badly. It's not terrible, but it hurts a lot. You know, it bled and it hurts. I do have shin guards. I was just obviously not bright enough to be wearing them at home because he had not been turning very tightly like that to make me think that I needed to be wearing them. Well, I'm going to wear them tonight. And I will probably continue to wear them now that it seems like maybe we've got this little issue figured out a little bit. It's really a good thing, though. I mean, you don't want him to hit the barrel because then he could knock it over, and that pretty much takes you out of the competition. But we do want a tight turn, because if you're not turning tightly, you're not going to be fast enough. So I'm calling it a win, guys. Even though it hurts like the dickens, I'm calling it a win. Other than that, that is really what's been taking over my life lately. I have gotten to color a little bit. Not as much as I would really like, but a little, you know. I haven't totally neglected it or anything. Now, as you can see here, I'm just doing a little bit of shading within each little space like this, because I'm never really sure what to do with these types of pictures, or the picture is made up of all of these random patterns. I mean, I'm not sure where to put the shading like I would on a picture that was supposed to be realistic. And if somebody else has a good idea for that, maybe they can share it, because I don't think I understand it. But I am doing a little bit of shading, as you see, within each individual section in the hopes that that will help a little bit. Now, my plan for this picture is for this horse to have kind of the brown colors on his body, some blacks and grays in his mane and tail, and then I'll probably make this like a little more yellow colored dog, like a little like yellow lab or a golden retriever. And then you notice the things that aren't animals aren't done in that pattern. They're all done realistically, so I don't have to worry about them. We'll see how this goes. I told myself I'm going to finish my works in progress and not just give up on things anymore, because sometimes I would do that. I'd get really frustrated, not like how it was going, and say, forget it, I'm not doing it. So, yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to actually try to finish things. And sometimes it comes out better than you thought it would. I mean, I think we're all kind of our own worst critics. I know I'm my worst critic on almost everything. Speaking of being critical, I had talked to you guys in my last video about trying to lose weight for my wedding. That's going well. I've lost about 10 pounds. It's not bad. You know, about 15 more or so, and I can definitely get into my dress. It's not quite zipping yet, but it's not as far from it as I thought it might be. So I wish I had something that was really incredibly interesting to talk about, since I make videos, right? But really, this wedding is kind of taking up all of my thought processes right now. And you ladies who've gone through that, I'm sure that you understand that because you've done it. There's so much more to it than I thought. I mean, I knew that you had to pick a place and pick some food to eat and stuff, but then you get into all of this stuff about, you know, picking out your vendors and figuring out the guest list and how are you going to word the invitations. It's just been so much more to think about than I realized that it was going to be, but it is fun. I've made a few decisions. I have, like I said, I've already got the dress, so that's not really an issue. We picked a beautiful outdoor garden venue, as I said. I'm really happy with it. It was exactly the venue I wanted, so I certainly can't be too upset on that. I'm just, as I mentioned, a little worried about weather, but they do assure me that if something should happen, they do have a way to move the wedding into the reception hall. Won't be nearly as pretty, but it'll be okay. My accent color is a sort of bright, true purple. Probably throw in a little bit of silver or gold. I'm not sure which one yet. I'm still thinking. And then my flowers will have some of a very light sort of green, like an apple green, like a Prismacolor apple green. See, if my friends and everything colored, I could just tell them what colors I want by listing off Prismacolors. But they don't. I do have to go with my bridesmaids and pick out dresses sometime in the next couple of weeks. We have an idea, but nothing exact. I'm doing a few slightly non-traditional things. I've got 2 bridesmaids and I have a bridesman. Because my oldest and best friend is a guy. And I wanted him included. So I have both a man of honor and a maid of honor. And then 1 more bridesmaid. My guy's got 3 groomsmen. You know, I really wish he had like a female friend so that he could have like a groom's lady. I don't know what you call it when it's a lady on the other side. And he actually did used to have a really good female friend, and unfortunately they had a falling out. And so that's kind of sad because it would have been nice. One of my dogs is going to get to be in the wedding. Not my one that I talk about the most. Not my little cattle dog. He's a little too young and not quite behaved enough for me to trust him. But my oldest dog, I'm sorry, she's not my oldest. I don't know why I said that. She's my oldest big dog. I do have small dogs that are older than her. But this is my Akita. Her name's Callie. She's 9. And she's going to be the ring bearer. And so she'll have a little pillow like attached to her collar, and the rings will be tied to it. And one of the people in either my bride party or the groom's party will lead her down the aisle. I'm not sure who yet. We haven't worked out all that details either. We're still thinking about songs for the reception. We're still thinking about decorating things. I'm working on the cake. Working with a decorator on that. We do have the vendor, the catering vendor picked out. We went with a local restaurant that we both really, really like, and it's actually the restaurant that he proposed to me at. So I thought that was kind of nice. Having a very traditional Southern meal. It's chicken fried steak with gravy and mashed potatoes, corn, and rolls. If you're not from Texas, you've probably never had that, or well, at least from the South. I mean, we eat it all over the South, but it's kind of our signature meal in Texas. So if you don't know what chicken fried steak is, you basically take a piece of beef, usually it's like a less expensive type of cut of meat, something that really wouldn't be good if you just ate it by itself, like a cube steak or something like that. You take it and you batter it and you basically fry it in the same manner that you would fry a piece of chicken, which is why it's called a chicken fried steak. It's terrible for you, it is full of fat, and it is delicious. And it is my wedding, and I love it, so I'm going to have it. Really, most people in this area are okay with eating it, so it's not one of those things where people will be upset that it's beef and not chicken or something like that. This is Texas, and the vast majority of people, at least here, do like to eat that type of thing. I mean, not everybody. There are people who prefer chicken. There are vegetarians. My little cousin that's coming, he's a vegetarian, so I'll have something made for him. If I have a few people that are just really dead set on they can't eat it, then I'll pick something, and have something made specially for them. But it's not a huge wedding. It's about 100 people, and I think most people will be okay with it. But at the end of the day, I want my guests to have a good time, but I want to have, stuff that I like too. I don't want to be a bridezilla, because if you've ever watched those shows, those are hilarious. Those ladies they just make fools of themselves, don't they? And of course, I am not a wealthy person, so it's certainly not going to have the sort of money involved in it that I see on these TV shows about these bridezilla people. So, I still think, though, that despite that it's going to be a very nice wedding, and I'm very happy about it, and to me, it really does feel fancy, even though it might not be fancy by the standards of, the people on the TV and people who live in parts of the country where things are really, really costly. I'm super excited about Callie getting to be in the wedding. That was, I think, my favorite thing. I think I'm more happy about her being there than I am about the groom being there. I can find a groom anywhere, but, the venue that'll allow my dog is great. So, and she is getting older. She's a large dog, and large dogs, they don't live forever. And although I do hope she lives to be 13 or 14, I don't know that she will. So this will be a very special moment for me to have her there. I'm really excited about that. So guys, I went through and I did this background color in here, right? And I don't remember what color that is. I didn't write it down. I'm sure I can figure it out if I go through all of these pencils that I'm working with and play with them. But right now, for the life of me, I can't remember what color that is. And it's just driving me nuts. And obviously, there's no pattern to this that makes any sense. I'm picking random spots and putting random colors. But sometimes that's okay because it's art. And it doesn't always have to make sense. Art doesn't have to be logical. That's why it's kind of nice. I read a quote the other day that I really, really liked. It said, "I am under no obligation to make sense to you." And I just love that. I think that is such a great quote for everybody because that's the truth of it. You are not obligated to make sense to other people or to do what they want you to do. Guys, this is my little micron eraser, Mono Zero eraser. It's made by Tombow. It's great for getting in these little spots. I really like this little thing. I got that on Amazon. They're not very expensive. I definitely recommend them. I do like my big battery-operated Derwent eraser. They're really nice also. They're just not good for itty-bitty tiny spots like that. I'm going to go in with just a little bit of this Gamsol pen to blend a few things. This is a really great idea. I got it from Erin Jarbo over on Simple Art for Adults. Sorry, for some reason it was not coming to me. She basically took a empty Copic marker case, which you can purchase, and she filled it with Gamsol, or odorless mineral spirits. And you do have to refill it every so often, but it's much easier to use than some other methods of using Gamsol. You really just, you know, once you've got the Gamsol inside it, just make sure that you clean it off on a piece of scratch paper so that you don't have any other colors mixed in it. Just kind of do this. The nibs are replaceable, like when they start getting a little worn out, and this one is starting to. But you can just go in and get into these little small areas and blend your colors a little bit with the Gamsol, which I am a huge Gamsol fan because I'm not good at blending. Can't use it for everything, but you can use it for a lot of things, and you can kind of, because these are all similar colors, I can kind of use it without really cleaning it off too much. I can just kind of go in here. And it just kind of smooths out some of those white lines, some of the, what we call the tooth of the paper that's showing through. So I just kind of go through and do that with a lot of my pictures. I really like it. This is one of my favorite tools. I will sometimes use the Gamsol with a blending stump or a little tiny paintbrush. This is really good though for when you're trying to get into these little spaces like this. And I just think it kind of makes the pencil almost look like paint or marker maybe. Just has a really nice effect in my opinion. Well guys, I know that this is not a terribly long video. I've only been coloring for about 20 minutes, but I do have a race to go through tonight. I really just wanted a chance to visit with y'all and let y'all know that I'm still here. I'm still making videos, even if I'm not making as many of them as I would really like. I don't want y'all to forget that I'm here, forget that I'm out here in the color tube world, because I'm here. I'm having fun. So let me know what y'all are up to in the comments. Of course, I love it when y'all like my videos. I love it when y'all comment. I try to respond to every comment I get. And I'm incredibly flattered to have the followers now that I do have. I think it's crazy that I actually have people that watch my videos and talk to me. Also, if you do pictures like this with all of these little like Zen doodle-ish sort of designs, how do you do them? Do you do them different colors? Do you do them within a certain color family? Do you shade each individual section? Or do you shade it in a way that sort of makes sense to the overall shape of the animal? Because that sounds like it might be way above my artistic abilities. I don't think I know how to do that, but hey, I'll try. I have no problem trying something new, and if it doesn't work out, well, as they say, it's only paper, and I'm alright with that. I'll just try it again. So let me know. Let me have some ideas. I haven't really seen a video that kind of addresses that question, and I would really love to know what sort of ideas people have for doing these sorts of pictures, because I never really feel like these come out right. I feel much better with the actual pictures like the ones I showed you a minute ago, like with the dragon, where it's more of a realism, you know, sort of thing, where it's all going to look and be shaded in a realistic manner that makes sense with the lighting and the picture. And I mean, I'm not great at that either, because I'm not good with lighting sources, but I understand what I'm supposed to do in those pictures. I don't think I really understand what I'm supposed to do in these, so they don't really come out that great. But I still like it. I mean, it's still fun. I still get to just kind of sit here and color and relax, and I don't have to stress too much over things. And so that's good. I mean, that's the whole purpose of coloring to me anyway, is just for you to have fun, decompress, relax, you know, because it's a hobby. And if it starts to feel like a chore, then that's not the purpose. I actually stopped keeping up with some of the color alongs and the buddy colors and, you know, just various challenges that were going on with my favorite YouTube artists. Because there for a while I was starting to feel like it was an obligation. I was like, I've got to get this done. But then I had other things in my life that had to be done. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to stop. I'm just not going to watch any videos for a little while. I mean, I have watched a few, but I'm not going to make a point of watching every video that comes out from every one of the artists that I like until I get a few things figured out, you know, because it was starting to feel like work, and it shouldn't. And I do have real life stuff going on. I've got my family, I've got my job, I've got issues going on with the wedding and my family, and just, you know, just busy. We're all busy. And so I've just sort of been factoring my coloring in when I'm wanting to relax, watch a little TV, and not really worry about feeling pressured to do it a certain way or to do a certain type of picture. I've just been grabbing whatever picture I want to do in that particular moment and doing that. And it's been pretty relaxing, but I am kind of ready now, I think, to maybe start looking at a few different sorts of pictures that are being done on the other sites and see what folks are doing and if it looks like it would be any fun. Because I do enjoy them, especially when I'm having a hard time deciding what to color. Then those buddy colors and challenges are great because they give me ideas when I'm totally lost. Oops, I did not mean to do that. That's the other bad thing about Gamsol, is that sometimes you can get over the lines, but I'll just go back over that with a darker color eventually. Well, guys, I still don't like this picture. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to finish it, at least finish the horse. And maybe once I put everything else in it, it'll somehow come together. Alright, guys, I'm going to let y'all go. I hope that y'all all have a great weekend. Get lots of coloring in. Enjoy your Friday. Have a great time. Feel free to leave me a comment and say hello. And until I talk to y'all again, happy coloring.